I think that we've unquestionably discovered, invented, created a new multi-trillion-dollar industry, which is the reason why everybody's so excited about it.
Computex 2025 took place during the week of May 20th in the vibrant tech hub of Taipei, Taiwan. Widely regarded as one of the world's premier computer and technology expos, Computex continues to set the stage for what's next in the industry. This year's theme, AI Next, highlighted the growing reach of artificial intelligence from the cloud to the edge and into everyday devices and applications. With over 1,400 exhibitors from 34 countries, the event featured the biggest names in tech, with industry leaders taking to the stage for keynote announcements, while the exhibition halls buzzed with the unveiling of their latest products. In this episode, we bring you the pulse of the event. You'll hear directly from entrepreneurs and innovators shaping the future of technology and gain insights into why an increasing number of European companies and countries are forging strong ties with Taiwan. Hello and welcome to Perspectives with Nilo. I'm your host, Nilo Sullivan. If you are new to our podcast, be sure to check out our past episodes, which you can find on our blog site at pwnilo.com or by searching for Perspectives with Nilo wherever you get your podcasts. As a small but growing podcast, it can be tough to stand out in the vast ocean of online content, and that's where we could really use your help. If you enjoy our content, please consider subscribing or following our podcast. Your support truly means a lot and keeps us motivated to keep going. Computex has been around in one form or another since 1981. It is co-organized by government-funded Taiwan External Trade Development Council and private sector Taipei Computer Association, and is often where new semiconductor chips and hardware devices are revealed to the world. The headline theme for this year's expo was AI Next, with particular focus on AI and robotics, next-gen technology, and future mobility. Areas like gaming, drones, data center technology, and business solutions also featured strongly. There was also a big emphasis on innovation and startups. InnoVEX is the startup-focused exhibition held alongside Computex, and it is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year. Later, we'll talk to a representative from Taiwan's Small and Medium Enterprise and Startup Administration, as well as some of the European government organizations and companies attending to learn more and find out why they are building connections with Taiwan. We'll also bring you highlights of some of the major keynotes. But first, we take a look at a few of the new devices and gadgets from across the 80,000 square meters of exhibits. In a moment, we'll talk to German company Be Quiet, who specialize in computer components, and to multinational Faytech, who have developed an amazing transparent LCD display technology. But to begin, PartnerTech is a Taiwanese company that manufactures point-of-sale terminals and peripherals. You know, the device you use when you self-checkout at the supermarket. They are bringing AI to these devices with some exciting new improvements and features. I spoke to Screed Liao, who is a project manager with the company.
Yeah, PartnerTech, a company that manufacturing like the post system, kiosk, also the self-checkout. And we want to provide a total solution to the customer. So we work with many local ISV, which they may have the software like post software or other financial payment, and we integrate together.
So what you have here seems like a checkout at a shop, but this one is different. Tell me why this one is different.
Okay, I think for the self-checkout, everyone familiar after the COVID-19, but we want to make it more easy, more fast, frictionless, also safe. Because for the first generation's self-checkout, only can do the checkout, but not prevent you to cheat. But for our system, we integrate the so-called Edge AI. We have the local calculation, and we can see that, for example, if you buy an apple, it can quickly detect this is an apple and let you select. You don't need to go into a list and select what you want.
So it can detect items that don't have a barcode, basically?
Yeah, because like maybe the lemon, banana, or other things, usually they don't have the barcode. Yeah.
And how does it do that?
We have the camera and with our own AI algorithm and have used the edge AI technology to have the local calculation. So we can quickly and check what you put on our system. Then we'll give a suggestion that you can select this. If you buy this, yes.
So you showed an example there of maybe customer is buying some apples, but potatoes are cheaper. So he hits the potato button when the apple is on the unit, but the device will know it's an apple, it's not a potato, and it alerts the customer.
Yes, yeah, because in the system, they know what is potato and what is apple. Although there are different kind of potato and apple, but they are totally different. So system know, whoa, you are cheating me. So I'll allow and ask a cashier here to check if you do something wrong. Except AI, we also have the security scale, and so to prevent those, we combine the AI and the weight control together to make sure that we not, I'll say, disturb the customer journey, but also can prevent the loss for the store. So improve the customer experience and lower the store loss. Yeah. So this is what we want to provide to our customer. Yeah.
I think that's a very good idea because most of these units I use in my home country in Ireland, every time I use one, there's some problem and somebody has to come over and sort out the problem because it gets stuck for some reason.
Yeah, no, yeah. So since we already did this kind of solution for over 15 years, so we learn from many different customers what their pain point and what usually they face when they doing the checkout. So we overcome and face in the AI and also the security scale and to make sure every time their user journey is very good. Yeah.
So there are millions of different types of products, different fruit, different, all different products around the world. So for somebody who wants to buy your device and put it in their store, how do they get all the information about the products that they want that are in their store into the unit? I mean, do they have to do that separately or does the unit learn that itself? How does that process work?
Okay, so since we have the edge AI, so it can do the machine learning. So usually at the first, if you have the high value product, you can let the system learn this is something, then you can prevent this kind of things be loose. But for others, maybe the fruit or something, we have the mode that it can capture every different, for example, different unit, and every time customer, they will select, oh, this is maybe this kind of apple or that kind of apple. And usually 5 times or 6 times, the system will remember, whoa, this is maybe A kind of apple and this is B kind of apple. So no need to do whole the database at the first. Yeah.
So it learns as it goes along.
Yeah, so every time it can learn, and also if the customer, they are now the supermarket, they don't have only one supermarket, they have the store chain. So if one store that it learn, and it will sync to others, so every day. So it's very quick.
All right, so you share the data from different units in different stores to build the database.
Yeah, since that for customer that they can build their own cloud base or use our own cloud base, so it can sync the data.
And so the company name is Partner. You're a Taiwanese company?
Yeah, we are. The full name is Partner Tech, and we come from Taiwan. But we also have many different regional offices like Europe, USA, and also Asia country. Sorry.
So this new unit with the AI built in, how does the price differ compared to the existing units without AI? Is there a big price difference?
For the price, I think usually in this market is based on the project size and maybe the relationship or others. So we don't have a firm price at this point. But I think it won't be very high compared to others. Yeah.
Well, it's great. It's very nice talking with you. Thank you very much for all the information.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome.
Hi, my name is Bernard Venstreen. I work for Vtech. I'm living currently in Hong Kong and I'm from the Netherlands. and I'm the marketing manager here for the company.
And what is the technology, the new screen technology we see here?
So the new screen technology here is transparent LCD display. It's an 86 inch, it has 10-point infrared touch, it has 400 nits brightness, it has LEDs on the side, and it's mainly used for advertisements, retail, brand awareness. You know, you can put items inside of the box as well. So it's a new upcoming technology. Like you might have seen it around at other places here at the show. We're here at the Computex 2025. And it generated so much interest already, you know. Dancing girls gets the attractions, right? People are attracted to it, so.
And it runs on Windows, you said?
Yeah, so it has a PC. So actually this is just a monitor box. You just plug it in through HDMI. So it's a USB connector and an HDMI connector, then you have touch and the video audio. It also has speakers on the side. And it's running currently Windows, but we could also say let's run Linux or Debian or Android. Yeah.
And it's mostly used in advertising at the moment. Do you see other kind of consumer uses for it?
Yeah, exactly. So mostly it's shopping malls, even museums. They are interested in showing items on the screen, interacting with it. And shopping malls, high-end brands promoting. I mean, it's very hard to be competitive in a market where it's always LCDs and LEDs. But if you have something like this, you really stand out amongst the crowd, basically. So that's why it's so exciting.
And is it cost competitive?
So right now we're looking at high-end. So it's, I would say, 4 or 5 times more expensive than standard LCDs. So it's still very new technology. I know that in a couple of years the price will go down. There might be more companies producing it as well. But at this moment we're ahead of the curve, and this is really some new technology. And like I said, it's just been very, very exciting for a lot of people to see this stuff.
All right, that's great, Bernard. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I appreciate you being here.
Hi, my name is Ole Großstück. I'm the CMO of Be Quiet.
And what is Be Quiet? What kind of products do you do?
So we basically are a brand from Germany, and we're specialized on PSUs for computers, so power supplies, cases, as well as cooling, air cooling and water cooling. But we recently went into the business of peripherals like gaming peripherals, mice and keyboards.
And you have an office in Taiwan as well, a design office?
Yes, we do.
And why did you choose Taiwan for that?
So as we are a German company, we have a lot of our guys sitting in Germany, like working on the construction and the design of devices. But we figured out pretty fast that we need someone in the local region to support us on this. So we went and founded our office here. And we had a lot of guys applying to positions where we found very, very specialized people here.
So good selection of labor and skills.
Yeah, absolutely.
The one thing I would like to ask you, though, I find very curious about your business and I guess the market segment you're in. It seems like a very competitive area. I mean, you walk around here, there are lots of Chinese companies doing some of the, at least in function anyway, some of the products you just named, probably for a lot cheaper. How do you compete? What's your angle?
Yeah, so basically for us it was always very important to build products which stand out. So quality-wise, but also design or function-wise. So we spend a lot of time figuring out what the customers really want and how can we build products which are really satisfying for the customer. So very high product quality, but also offering additional features. So for example, on our peripherals, we have features that you can remove certain components of the keyboard and slide it to another position. So this gives you more flexibility and customizability.
So better ergonomics and things like that?
For example, like that, yeah.
And are your main customers gamers, or do you sell to third parties who then design or build full gaming systems?
Yeah, so basically we have, I would say, 3 different customer groups. So customer group number 1 are the hardware enthusiasts. So these are people which really love to build PCs. It's their hobby, it's their passion. And on the other side, we have gamers, which are then more interested to get a nice-looking performant machine, which can run their games easily. And we also have a lot of professionals. So guys are working in the programming industry or editing industry, and they want to have a computer which performs 24 hours a day, very, very silent, to get the work done, basically.
And so I presume your your cooling products and so on, they allow people to push performance also, and that's something that gamers are always trying to do, right?
Yeah, so our products are designed to be very, very performant, but at the same time very silent. So this is our core philosophy.
How's the show going for you so far, the Computex 2025?
Yeah, so it's running pretty well. So we had a lot of nice guests and customers on our booth, and all the products we presented were accepted very well from the customers. So great show.
Great. Well, Olaf, it's great talking with you. Thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you.
That's Ole Groschuk, who is CMO with Be Quiet. If you'd like to find out more about any of these companies and their products, be sure to check out the links in the Dive Deeper section of our blog, as well as our video from Computex 2025. You can find our blog at pwnilo.com, and our video is also posted in the Perspectives with Nilo YouTube channel. As we mentioned earlier, InnoVEX is a startup-focused exhibition held alongside Computex. It is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year and hosted over 450 global startups from 24 countries. There were lots of informative demo sessions, pitch events and forums, and it was also impressive to witness the sheer number of countries hosting national pavilions. Japan, Thailand, France, Poland, Israel, the Czech Republic, Belgium, the Philippines, Australia and Brazil are all building strong partnerships with Taiwan and with Taiwanese companies. Coming up, we speak with representatives from the Czech Republic, the UK and Taiwan's Small and Medium Enterprise and Startup Administration. But first, I spoke with Doris Wu from the Flanders Belgium Investment and Trade Office in Taiwan to find out why Flanders and Belgium are building partnerships with Taiwan.
My name is Doris Wu. I'm the economic representative for Flanders Investment Trade in Taipei. And we are structurally together with the Belgian office Taipei. We want to highlight the Flemish innovation and especially some stellar companies. They are exhibiting here with Flanders Investment Trade Pavilion. So we are very happy to be a part of the InnoVEX 10th anniversary.
So these are startups who come from Flanders to Taiwan
Yes.
to set up their business. And why do they come to Taiwan?
Why they come to Taiwan? You see the vibe here because Jason Wang from NVIDIA is here, the CEO of Intel, of Samsung, every big guy is here because it's one of the most important ICT show in this region to see the trend, to see the future. So I think our companies, they need software, hardware, and even capital partners from Taiwan. That's why they are here and want to be visible, so Taiwan can see us and more Flemish company can see Taiwan. That's the purpose we organize some event here.
And do they build good partnerships with the industry in Taiwan?
We hope so, but it's not an overnight success you can expect. So they come here once, twice. We try to make a B2B for them so they can talk in deep because you need to make acquaintance first and then you have a discussion. You can have a business case and then you can evolve to a successful partnership. It takes time, but first you must be aware and you must be interested and motivated to take actions to have a outcome.
And how about traffic the other way? Is there foreign investments from Taiwan back into Flanders?
Oh, definitely. Actually, all the Taiwanese investment in Belgium currently still concentrated in the northern part of Belgium called Flanders. And in June, we also have a Taiwanese delegation going to Belgium. We have this kind of annual event to facilitate the bilateral trade and investment collaboration. That's why we government entity for this investment trade, we need to support companies because in Belgium most like in Taiwan most SMEs, they cannot do it on their own. They always need government support. And for this investment trade, we have 70 offices around the world. Our headquarters is in Brussels. We really help companies from the center of Europe, but also with 70 offices around the world. I think maybe in Ireland we also have an office there. We can support companies in Ireland, in Taiwan, in Flanders to succeed internationally. That's the purpose.
Well, it sounds super exciting.
Yes, we are passionate for our work.
It's great to talk with you. Thank you for taking
Thank
the
you
time.
very much for the interview.
Yes, so my name is Mateusz Kostliwi and I work for Czech Invest, which is a government agency under the Ministry of Industry and Trade. It's an investment promotion agency. It's as well an agency that deals with startup support. We are the main government body for startup support in the Czech Republic. And we opened our office last year in Taiwan. So I moved here just last April. So it's 1 year of operations in Taiwan. And so far, I believe this is the place to be, especially for Czech Republic in these days. I'm kind of mentioning that because of the semiconductor industry, but as well the boom of AI. But not only this, there's way more. And actually, Taiwan and Czech Republic have very close connections for some time. The companies that we have in the Czech Republic so far from Taiwan are mostly from the electronics field. So it's like companies like Foxconn, Wistron, Inventec, Pegatron. All these are have their operations. Usually they have production facilities in the Czech Republic. Foxconn is there for many years.
They're huge contract manufacturers, right?
It's a huge contract manufacturer indeed, and they are actually the second largest exporter in the Czech Republic after Škoda Auto. Škoda, the car manufacturer, who is actually having the cars on the streets in Taiwan as well. In Taipei, you can meet Škoda cars. And Foxconn is actually, when it comes to exports, after Škoda cars, it's the second exporter in the Czech Republic. When you take a look at the number of people employed by companies from different countries, there is actually, of course, Czech Republic, Germany, United States and Japan. But on the fourth place, or after these, Japan, United States and Germany, there is already Taiwan. So Taiwan is a very long partner to the Czech Republic, but the activities in Czech Republic are kind of remarkable. It's when you compare it to other countries, it is not by the number of companies that are investing in Czech Republic, but the projects that they invest are usually important and big and very strategic for them in the European context.
Tell me about the Czech Invest program with the startups. It seems kind of unusual when you first think about it that the Czech government would support startups in Taiwan. But why? What's the thinking behind that?
Well, Czech Republic started to support, or Czech Invest started to support startups some 15 years ago heavily with some really programs focused at startups. And it was first time because my colleague could see in San Francisco how other countries were bringing startups to those local incubators, and that they could really leverage from the innovation ecosystem around San Francisco, and it helped them grow, like to enter the U.S. market or even get the feedback from the customers or from really skilled mentors in the region. So that's how Czech Accelerator, the first Czech Invest program, came into realization. First, we were bringing startups to San Francisco, then to New York, then to London. In Asia, we had our partners in Singapore back then. Now, this support is actually evolved. It's not like that anymore. Now we have other programs. Mentioning the main programs that we have is technology incubation, where we have to kickstart the projects for the startups that don't reach to the VC investments yet. So it's usually the early stage startups or people that just have an idea and they just need to push to start the idea into realization. So that's our technology incubation program. For those that already developed their product, we have other program called Acceleration, which is strongly linked to one that I mentioned before, just with the difference that now they can choose where they would like to expand, be it Taiwan, United States, or any other kind of country, region, whatever they would like to go. And in Taiwan, of course, there is InnoVEX, there is Computex. Czech Invest has now office here. Outside of Taiwan, in Asia, we have as well office in Japan or South Korea. So we don't have that many offices, but in Taiwan, we believe that this is actually the place to be because of the semiconductor industry when it comes to FDI, foreign direct investment, and because of the startups that actually could leverage from the potential that is here. So we are in touch with local incubators, with local accelerators. There is VC fund Taiwania Capital with their CE fund, so they are even investing into these startups in the Czech Republic. Not many VC funds in Asia actually do that. Not many VC funds invest in the Czech Republic, and Taiwan is one of those.
So it's a two-way kind of street, which is really nice to see. I mean, it's a kind of a very fair and balanced. It's nice to see the traffic isn't all one way, right?
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, like now there is TSMC, a big investment coming to Europe. They are going to Dresden, which is just in the it's in Germany, but it's just by the borders with Czech Republic. Which means, and we could see that with investments from Toyota. In Czech Republic we have Toyota and Hyundai, huge car makers from Asia. And usually what their investment meant was that their supply chain followed. So a lot of suppliers were sourced locally, but a lot of suppliers, because they felt the business opportunity, they moved along to Europe. And that it means that they were looking where to land. And actually, for example, in Hyundai case, near Ostrava, their supply chain created more job opportunities than the Hyundai itself. We can see that this could be as well the case in the semiconductor industry with the investment of TSMC to Dresden, to Germany, that their supply chain could actually follow. They may land in Germany, they may land in Poland, and of course we do our best to support the link to the Czech Republic.
And the government support of it, I mean, is really key, right? I mean, industry can't really do it itself, can it?
The industry can be supported, and when they are selecting where to land with their project, of course it's important that we are members of the European Union. It's important that there is free movement of people and goods. It's really important that we are in the close vicinity, and it's super important as well that these companies can actually apply for financial incentives. And Czech Invest is providing financial incentives. We are the government body that provides these to foreign companies that would land like that. So that's one of the part of the deal. But of course, it always depends on the proximity to the big hubs in the territories. Therefore, if they need some skills, talent, some employees, they usually need to be closer to some cities that have these. And of course, now we have even the direct flight connection between Prague and Taipei, which is as well a plus for somebody who would like to have operations in Europe to get their managers' staff easily back and forth.
I was very impressed earlier by the pitches that your startup presenters gave. A lot of positive energy and a lot of great ideas. And I was speaking with another EU office in Taiwan, and they mentioned the same positive energy here, the kind of contagious energy around innovation and startups and so on. This must be an advantage of being in a place like this too.
It is. I think that where we can all in Europe take an inspiration from is the Taiwan's success and Taiwan's innovation policies, therefore the role of the state in developing certain industries and specialization within the industry. It's not a coincidence that they have such a strong semiconductor industry. It was really just a push from the government in the 70s, a strategy that they kind of formed around the goal to become really strong in the next big thing, which they felt within the ICT paradigm could be the semiconductors, the hardware that will drive the computers in the future, and it's happening even until today. So they started these activities in the 70s. They started to send people to take some education, some knowledge, some skills. First they learned in the US, then they brought it back to Taiwan. Then some first investments followed, and then suddenly TSMC appeared, and UMC appeared, and other Mediatek's and all those kind of big guys that are here now. And it was really the strong push from the government, from the state, that was able to really target the industry and push enough funding and support to this industry to help it grow.
So final question, on that presentation earlier I heard you mention that the Czechs drink more beer than anybody else in Europe. I think the Irish might disagree with you.
They might disagree, but they can check the statistics. Czech Republic is the number one per capita in consumption of beer.
All right, well, congratulations on that, and congratulations on your great startup.
Thank you very much. I don't know if it's something to congratulate about, but definitely we like our beers and we like our startups and technologies, and now we like Taiwan and being here.
That's Matush Koslivi, who is the director of Taiwanese operations for Czech Invest. One of the Czech Invest startups who presented their pitch at InnoVEX was a company called CogniVibe. I spoke to Mateusz from CogniVibe, and I first asked him about his impressions of Computex.
Yeah, it's super interesting to be here at Computex or InnoVEX. Taipei is really amazing, and the conference is really great for us. I think for everyone from the Czech delegation, we're really enjoying it.
How long have you been doing your startup here in Taipei?
So my startup is quite young, so it's only like 5-6 months old. But we are interested in this market, so we came to see if there's any potential for it.
So the name is CogniVibe. Tell us what it's all about.
Yeah, so CogniVibe is really about tracking mental performance. So we're kind of at an intersection between productivity and mental well-being. So we look at how people work, and from data like app usage, focus time, break patterns, we collect all of that, and our kind of psychological AI model turns this into a single number, which is cognitive load, kind of the mental effort that you put into your work. And when it gets too high, you become less productive, and you also risk burning out. So we track this and help you optimize how you work to both be more productive but also feel better.
So is there like medical research there that you're linking to kind of quantify the type of behavior on the phone?
Yes, it's not necessarily medical, but psychological. So we aim at like workplace settings, which don't really require like a medical grade of research, but we are collaborating with research institutions which are psychologically oriented. Yeah.
So the idea then is that you would give a warning or flag something to the user to say, hey, you're maybe not doing yourself any favors, and give options, or just what happens then?
Yeah, so right now we are mainly working on an AI coach, which will integrate this data and help you kind of solve it yourself. We work with an actual coach who has over 10,000 hours of experience, so he's really helping us create this model that can take all this data and help you find your own solutions. But we also suggest some more general recommendations, like taking a break is always a good option, and then also maybe refocusing or choosing your priorities. If you're maybe constantly task switching, then focusing on just the main thing might be a good recommendation. Yeah.
I guess everybody's brain is a little different, though. How can you be sure that some people are more sensitive to certain things than others, and maybe should be flagged earlier or not?
Yes. So that's something why I really think this is a good time for a product like this, because the way AI developed, it really allowed us for a much higher degree of personalization. So until now, it would be really impossible to create something that does reflect these individual differences. But right now, because of the power of AI, I believe we can really personalize this to fit everyone's cognitive style.
You have to start somewhere, I guess. Also there's a lot of people wearing watches now that measure your heartbeat, or maybe can infer blood pressure and things like that. Could you see a way to use that kind of data in the future?
Yeah, we definitely plan to integrate with physiological data, both in the terms of we can take maybe your heart rate and analyze that also as the part of the data points that we collect, but also the other way around. So if you maybe have a Whoop, then for this like more cohesive health platform, having also the data points about your cognitive performance might be also a good way to integrate it the other way around.
And so then I want to ask you about the business side of it also. How do you plan to monetize this?
Yeah, so we're starting with B2C mostly for testing purposes, but our overall plan is to go to corporates, to companies, and basically crack the market of productivity tracking. Because until now, productivity tracking was only focused on how much people work, but not how they work. So we believe that we offer a solution that has a lot of great potential for companies to gain more insight into how their teams focus, how well they work, and to really improve the workplaces.
Well, I think it's a great idea, a fascinating idea. I wish you lots of success with it.
Thank you so much.
That's Mateusz from CogniVibe. From the smartphones in our pockets to the powerful servers in data centers, semiconductors remain the backbone of the tech industry. And today, demand is higher than ever. At the center of this global supply chain is Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC, which produces around 90% of the world's most advanced chips, including those driving the latest AI innovations. This central role in the semiconductor ecosystem is a key reason why so many international companies are looking to Taiwan for collaboration. One of those attending Computex 2025 is a UK company, Quinas Technology Limited.
Yeah, hi, I'm James Ashforth-Pook. I'm co-founder and CEO of Quinas Technology Limited.
And what does your company do?
Quinas Technology is a spin-out from Lancaster University. We spun out in 2023 on a mission to commercialize UltraRAM, which is the world's first universal memory.
And does that have special applications in AI or particular use cases?
Yeah, what's unique about our technology is that we're like a DRAM memory chip, so we're very, very fast. DRAM is used in general purpose compute. We're also like a flash, which is a non-volatile memory. So we bring both these concepts into one device called UltraRAM.
And how does it look cost-wise?
That's a good question. Being a spin-out and early stage, we've only just started to model cost. But we believe we can compete with existing technologies like DRAM at a very early stage.
I suppose if you're working in semiconductors or with semiconductor technology, it might be obvious to a lot of people what you're doing in Taiwan, but do you want to tell us what brought you here?
Yeah, I'd love to. Basically, the UK government's been supporting relations in semiconductors between UK and Taiwan, essentially to complete the supply chain. UK has complementary technologies to Taiwan. UK is very strong in innovation. And of course, Taiwan has the world's leading supply chain ecosystem for semiconductors. So bringing those two things together results in a very powerful end-to-end solution, and will clearly de-risk our scaling up and getting us to market.
So have you made interesting connections here, built any interesting partnerships so far?
Yeah, we last year in 2024 we were very privileged to win the IC Taiwan Grand Challenge. It's a very prestigious competition run by the NTSC through the Taiwan government. We were the only winner from Europe. We were selected out of 72 entrants worldwide. And that's given us an amazing platform here. We've got support from ITRI, which is the local research institute. We've got incubator support, even immigration acceleration. So that's actually given us access to ecosystem players, essentially design houses and wafer fabrication, which will help us on our scale-up journey.
And is that a long process to scale up to volume manufacturing?
Memory technologies are quite complex. So as I said, we've been in 10 years of research. We've got working devices, but now getting to a manufacturing setting is the next step. And we'll be doing that here in Taiwan.
And what would come after that then, if that's successful? Is it a licensing kind of approach, or would you brand your own memory?
Yeah, initially we're looking to manufacture our own memory with partners. That's another reason why we're in Taiwan. Taiwan has the world's largest fabrication facilities, particularly for compound semiconductors, which is the area we're in. I think we can significantly de-risk that. Licensing to fabs, and eventually we could even license the architecture to customers. We're very focused now on AI use cases, things like edge computing and neuromorphic computing. And in fact, we're working with partners worldwide to deliver that.
Okay, James, well, congratulations on your success, and thank you very much for talking with us.
Super, very nice to meet you, and wish you a great rest of the conference. Thank you.
That's James Ashford-Pook, who is the CEO of UK-based Quinas Technology. One organization that is central to helping startups and enterprises establish a presence and get connected in Taiwan is the Small and Medium Enterprise and Startup Administration, which is part of Taiwan's Ministry of Economic Affairs. They established Startup Terrace in 2018 to promote the sustainable development of the startup sector. Their soft landing program offers facilities and fosters collaboration with local industries. Amy Ye is an international strategy executive with Startup Terrace, and she told me more.
Taiwan Startup Terrace is a project conducted by the Small and Medium Enterprise and Startups Administration, Ministry of Economic Affairs in Taiwan.
So you basically support startups, especially foreign people who would like to come into Taiwan and begin a startup, new idea. You help them get started. What kind of things does your department support them with?
Yeah, so for Taiwan Startup Terrace, this project, we have the soft landing program for the international startups who would like to expand their market in Taiwan or consider Taiwan as their first step in the whole Asian region. So, for example, the soft landing program is a 3 weeks physically program, and the selected teams, we will provide the runway tickets, and during the 3 whole weeks we arrange different customized matchmaking meetings with local partners and like supply chain and also the local VC, as well as we organize the workshop to introduce the legal way how to set up a business locally as a foreigner, and also we introduce different visas for them and so on.
So you help them settle in, get started, you show them the ropes, you may help them make all the connections and so on.
Exactly.
So how about connections with partner industries? Because there may be startup businesses in other countries who would like to start up a business in Taiwan because Taiwan has a very strong semiconductor ecosystem, strong AI ecosystem. We saw all the keynotes this week. Many strengths in many other areas. Do you help those startups make connections with those other companies that maybe they could be a customer or a supplier to?
Yeah, so before the selected startups they physically come to Taiwan, we will have a one-on-one meeting with them to narrow down their targets. Because, for example, like for a lot of teams or for a lot of people, they know about like TSMC in Taiwan or some really famous big enterprise in Taiwan. But also we have a lot of cooperation. They work hard and do the OEM, ODM for the big enterprises. So we will first of all, we will narrow down their target and we will reach out for the startups beforehand. Yeah. So I would say, because all the companies, once they receive the information from us, which is Taiwan Startup Terrace, because they know we are a project under the government, so they trust us. They know we select the really good startup first. So most of them, they are willing to set up business with business meeting with the startups.
And you are, because you're based with the government, you are a non-profit, so you're pretty much giving impartial advice, right?
Yeah, and because one of the main goal of this project itself is to encourage the international talents to co-work with our local partners. At some time, it will be like a two ways. So at some time, to encourage our local company, even VCs and startups to work with international talents as well. Yeah.
What would you say to international interested parties who might be looking to come here about the language difference? What's your advice on that?
So I would say for most of company, you can find at least some people they speak really frequent English, but if you are looking for maybe be even closer relationship with them, having a friend who can speak Mandarin, well, it can break down some barrier. Yeah.
So if they're thinking of hiring people here and expanding, they can find people who can speak English and Mandarin, and that can help the
Or even Taiwanese.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one supply I know pretty well. They're from like a CE region, and end up they have one Taiwanese agent here because one thing is like they can't always travel back and forth from Europe into here, but at the same time having a Taiwan agent it's a lot of easier for them to build up a connection locally.
And so, Amy, you mentioned that your team, you select several candidates, startup candidates each year. How much is that number? I mean, is it a large number or a small number?
Yeah, so with the software lending program I mentioned earlier, it will be like 2 batches annually. And for each batch, we will select 10 teams. But usually for each batch, we receive maybe like a 60 or 70 applicants. So yeah. So it will be 20. We select 20 teams in total every year. Yeah.
And the 3-week support in the initial, does that extend at all? Or does it, like, what happens after the 3 weeks if they still have questions or still are trying to figure out some things?
If they still have any questions, or they found out, I probably meet someone and we would like to work together, but the staff have to go back to their country. To be honest, our services will be always here. Yeah. So it's not like one time, one period thing because we've already built up the trust from both sides. So we want to extend that potential collaboration
So is there a website or any portal where people can get more information for Startup Terrace?
Absolutely. So if you type www.startupterrace.tw and you can find our website, and we have the English version, and on the website you can find all for example, the soft landing program information and other program, our outbound program for Taiwanese staff to go abroad, so on. Yeah.
All right, Amy, it's great to meet you and chat with you. Thank you for sharing all that information with us today.
Thank you so much for the interviewing. Thank you.
That's Amy Ye, who is an international strategy executive with Startup Terrace, an initiative of Taiwan's Small and Medium Enterprise and Startup Administration. There were several interesting keynotes from big-name companies at Computex 2025. The kickoff keynote on Monday was by Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA. Jensen Huang, who is also known as Leather Jacket Man, was born in Taiwan and enjoys rock star status here. In this year's keynote, he positioned NVIDIA as more than a GPU powerhouse, but rather a full-stack AI infrastructure provider, spanning silicon, systems, and software. He made a number of major technical announcements. First was the debut of NVLink Fusion, an updated interconnect architecture that expands NVIDIA's chip ecosystem. The platform will allow third-party CPUs and AI accelerators to link directly to NVIDIA GPUs, opening the door to semi-custom AI systems designed with partners like Qualcomm, Marvell, MediaTek and Fujitsu. NVIDIA also unveiled Isaac Grout N1.5, a foundation model and development platform that serves as the AI brain for humanoid robots, enabling them to reason, adapt and execute complex tasks. Third, NVIDIA introduced DGX Spark, a compact, high-performance AI supercomputer designed for desktops. Built on the GB200 Grace Blackwell superchip, DGX Spark delivers 1,000 TOPS, that is 1,000 trillion operations per second, and aims to democratize AI development. Jensen Huang also announced the creation of Taiwan's first AI supercomputer, effectively a cloud partnership between NVIDIA, contract manufacturer Foxconn, and the Taiwanese government. This effort is designed to strengthen Taiwan's role as a global AI hub and will be powered by 10,000 NVIDIA Blackwell GPUs. It will support the region's AI ecosystem, including TSMC, startups, and academic researchers. The build-out will begin with a 20 megawatt deployment and scale to 100 megawatts across multiple sites, starting in Taiwan's southern city of Kaohsiung. Jensen Huang also announced that the company's new overseas headquarters will be built in Taipei. It will be named NVIDIA Constellation, and is expected to accommodate NVIDIA's growing presence in Taiwan. On the controversial side, NVIDIA's delicate position on chip exports to China garnered a lot of media attention during the week. While the US government pursues chip restrictions, Jensen Huang branded the US government's approach a failure and called for Washington to back away. On the Tuesday of the event, the chairman of Foxconn, also known as Han High Precision Industry Company, presented the company's first Computex keynote. For listeners who are unfamiliar with Foxconn, they are the world's largest contract manufacturer of electronic products. For example, Foxconn are famous for manufacturing the Apple iPhone and hundreds of other products for the world's largest electronic brands. During the keynote, Foxconn chairman Young Liu spoke about how his company is going big when it comes to AI. He talked about the company's smart EV platforms, including ventures with Mitsubishi Motors and e-buses in Kaohsiung. He also shared insights into Foxconn's smart cities and smart manufacturing initiatives, all of which are powered by AI factories using NVIDIA technology. It was no surprise then when Young Liu welcomed NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang to the stage for the second part of his presentation. And here are some edited highlights from their conversation.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the superstar of the AI industry and the leader of Team Taiwan.
Go Team Taiwan! 大家好。
I don't have to introduce him anymore, right?
I still love being introduced.
Jensen, I know you have a very busy schedule. Your keynote
I
yesterday
honestly
was
have nothing else
terrific.
to do.
Yesterday. Yeah.
Thank you.
I remember the last time we had our HTD 23 together. We rode in with a Beauty and the Beast SUV. Do you remember?
Beauty and the Beast.
The car. The car. In that car, I have to give you, let you know a good news about it. Has been chosen by Mitsubishi to become their car.
Wow.
And that car will be running on the road roughly about a year from now.
Okay.
With the luck you bring. And in the second half of the keynote, what I would like to do is to ask you questions and let you answer.
Okay.
Okay.
So you know, it doesn't matter what you ask. My answer is always the same.
I hope. I'll ask. Actually, I collect a lot of questions from the industries and from people who care about you. It's not the question that you thought about the business. It's not about NVIDIA chips or system business. It's about the Team Taiwan. The very first question. What is Team Taiwan from your point of view?
Well, Taiwan is where our most important partners are. We've been coming here for 30 years.
Yeah.
And somebody did a count. We have 350 partners here.
350.
350.
Wow.
Of course, I don't know them all, but apparently, either directly or indirectly, we work with some 350 companies. And you know that the technology supply chain is incredibly deep here.
Right.
And it's much more complicated than people think. I made a movie the other day that I showed yesterday, and it just shows the breadth and the depth of technology that is here in Taiwan. And so, as a computing company, this is the epicenter of the world's computing industry. This is where it starts, and everything from the chips, of course, to the systems, and now increasingly, the pioneering work that is being done in the automation of robotic factories and building robots. You know very well this is one of the largest electronic manufacturing regions in the world.
Yes.
And not only is it the largest, it's the most advanced. And the things that we build here are incredibly complicated. Now, you and I were talking about building GB200 servers. It has 1.2 million components. It weighs almost 2 pounds, completely liquid cooled. Each rack is a couple, $2-3 million.
So all these numbers.
And
remembers.
Yeah, and so they're not that hard numbers. And just so you know, I rounded them all. It's 1.8 tons. It's 1.12 million parts. Yeah. So I rounded it up for your benefit. So anyways, the technology is incredibly complicated. In order to build one of those Grace Blackwell racks, how many companies were involved and how much robotics technology is actually involved. So if you look at the work that we've done in the last 2 years since you and I were on stage together, starting to talk about AI and robotics. Since then, Foxconn is using NVIDIA Metropolis for smart cities, NVIDIA Metropolis for smart factories, NVIDIA Isaac Groot for robotics, NVIDIA Drive for autonomous vehicles, NVIDIA Omniverse as the digital twin operating system for all of that. And yesterday we announced that we're going to build an AI factory for you to use, for me to use, and for Taiwan, the entire ecosystem to use.
Yes.
And so now Foxconn is going to be a world-class regional cloud provider, AI cloud provider. And so look at the breadth of work that we do together now. It covers literally every, not to mention for manufacturing inspection agents with computer vision and vision understanding. And so everything from agents to robots to, robots with wheels, robots that are orchestrating robots to build robots, And so this is.
I've seen that.
This is
robots building robots.
Yeah, this is
in person.
This is literally
happening.
Foxconn. This is Foxconn. One of the most advanced technology companies in the world. You just happen to apply technology to manufacturing. Yes. We apply technology for technology's sake. You apply the technology to apply for manufacturing, and so it can't. We shouldn't be surprised, but everybody should be deeply impressed by the technology of Foxconn.
Thank you very much. And
did you notice? I just want to demonstrate something. It didn't matter what he asked.
No, I asked only one question, and that question. Let's wait till.
Go ahead and ask me about my jacket.
No.
No, I just want to demonstrate something.
Okay. I'm not going to ask about jacket. Okay.
No, I just want to demonstrate. It doesn't matter what you ask.
You'll answer the same thing. Okay. I see.
Because from there, I was going to talk about Omniverse and robotics.
Great salesperson. Anyway, my next question is: have you heard about TEMA?
From who?
TEEMA. It's an association, Taiwan Electronics and Electrical Manufacturers Association.
Did I do something wrong?
No. Oh, there's something he doesn't know. I was just made the chairman of TEMA. TEMA.
Well, congratulations.
Okay. TEMA.
Congratulations. Did you do something wrong?
I hope no. But anyway, it's the largest association in Taiwan with more than 3,000 members and accounts for over 50% of export value of Taiwan. So TEMA is the association. I think most of the members are, most of your suppliers are members of TEMA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, with this rapid changing AI industry, what advices do you have for your suppliers in the TEMA, as a TEMA member?
Mm-hmm.
Any advices for them?
Yeah, I do. It'll come to me in just a second. But I'm just going to have to start. I do. So let me make an observation. Let me make an observation. In fact, vast majority of the industries, the companies focused on industries, has largely been left behind as during the software revolution. And the reason for that is because you're obviously industrial because you understand mechatronics. You understand mechanicals, you understand chemicals, you understand the deep physics part, the sciences part of industry. That industry was formed out of the last industrial revolution. And Taiwan is excellent in those industries. But when software came, it was a brand new skill, and those skills were quite unusual and quite unnatural for these companies. Number one. Number two, first observation. The second observation is that when AI started 10 years ago, it was very interesting, but not very useful. Not very useful for the industrial companies. And the reason for that is because the AI understands English, but it doesn't understand physics, which is what you need. Everything that you do needs physical understanding, physical intelligence. You know, when I roll a ball underneath a car, my dog knows to either go underneath the car or go around the car. But the AI thinks the ball has disappeared out of this universe. And so we need to have physical common sense. Now we're developing both of those things. Now, why is AI so great? The reason for that is because you teach an AI, you don't have to program an AI. Software programming skills is no longer as vital as it was before. You have an opportunity to leap the software chasm and go directly to AI. In fact, I can prove it to you. Everybody is a software programmer now. The definition of a software programmer is somebody who programs a computer to do something.
Right.
That's a software programmer. Give me an example of somebody who can't tell ChatGPT to do something. And if you don't know how to even tell ChatGPT to do something, you say, ChatGPT, teach me how to teach you how to do something.
Yeah.
Isn't that right? And ChatGPT writes a very nice prompt and says, try this. And I say, okay. Isn't that right? Incredible. So this computer is now intelligent. And intelligent systems are easier to use. And now you have an intelligent system that's easier to use. It understands the laws of physics. We combine all of that into Omniverse. See how I came back again? It came all the way back into Omniverse, which you are using as a digital twin. Yes. Isn't that right?
Yes.
And within the digital twin, you could design your plants, you could operate your plants, you could simulate your plants, and plan everything before you operate it greenfield or brownfield.
Exactly.
Isn't that right? And so all of a sudden, every company in TEMA is now a technology company.
And has to be, right? Has to be a technology company.
It doesn't matter what you ask me.
Okay.
And in fact, Young, look, every company needs to do what Foxconn did. When you and I first talked about AI, you didn't talk about AI and read about AI and kept thinking about AI. You just started working on AI. Just get to it. You know, of course, the technology 2 years ago is not as advanced as it is today.
Right. Right.
But you knew that. You knew that it was going to get better. You knew that technology was going to get better. Of course it does. It's getting better at 1,000,000 times every 10 years. 1,000,000 times every 10 years is like changing every day. And it is. AI is changing every single day. And so, but you engage it today with an expectation that these challenges that you're experiencing are going to get solved almost by itself. But you've got to get engaged right away. Everybody has to develop a system. We have a system available to you. You bring it to your company, and you know, Foxconn and I will build it for you. All the software is available for you. We're already integrated into all of your software developers, whether it's Cadence or Siemens or right, Dassault or Autodesk or whoever it is. We're already working with all of your software developers. Omniverse is integrated into all of that. Nemo is integrated into all of that. And so you could start trying AI. And it's amazing what you've produced in just the last couple of years. The demos you showed me, you know, your factories are basically complete digital twins, and they look so real.
Yes.
They look so real. Robots working inside it, incredible.
So in the past, we have physical factories. Then we use Omniverse to create digital twins.
That's right.
And then we realize we need AI factories to
That's
support both of them,
That's right.
to make it more and more powerful. And all these changes evolve so fast. And the reason why it's evolving so fast is all because that man, you, created chips running so fast and advancing so fast every year. And my next question for you, do you see any limit in terms of a hardware speed, for the AI?
Remember, Moore's law ended. Moore's law ended because we're at the limits of physics. And so the cost of the transistor is going up, as it should. The energy efficiency of the transistors and the processors are not going up very fast, understandably. And so we have to try different skills and different techniques. And so we're developing multi-chip packages, 3D packages,
Yep.
one way to do that. The other way to do that, of course, is this incredible invention called NVLink, where we connect all of these chips
Yep.
together into one giant chip. The size of the wafer is probably, like this.
Yeah.
And so all of these chips are working together as one. We used advanced mechanical systems and liquid cooling systems to compress the systems into one giant rack.
Yep.
But very importantly, software. Our architecture and the algorithms that we're developing on top of it allows us to reformulate the AI models, reformulate how the work is distributed across these supercomputers. The networking, of course, is a big challenge and a big opportunity. Instead of passing information back and forth, we could do in-network, in-fabric reduction.
Yeah.
And so, we all send our answer together for us to combine all the answers. But why don't we just send it to the network? The network combines the answers and already sends it back to us, so we don't have to receive it. So we reduce the amount of traffic practically in half. And so all of these clever ideas combined has allowed us to improve AI performance tremendously. People say it's about, 2x every 6 months. I actually think it's probably working faster than 2x every 6 months at this point. It's probably like 2x every 3 months. The combination of all these things, I call it full stack, but basically you're innovating chips, innovating systems, innovating at the data center, innovating the operating system of the data center, and innovating the model all at the same time.
So from what you see so far, only the sky is the limit. Looks like it.
Only the sky's the limit. And this is the really amazing thing, Young. So there's the computer industry that was created. And remember, the first time I realized this was going to be an industry, that the computer industry was going to be, was when Bill Gates, in one of his interviews, and he was so young. It was 1984, maybe 1985. I heard an interview where he said that Microsoft is not a maker of word processors or spreadsheets. It's a manufacturer of software. And at the time I heard it's a manufacturer of software. What does that mean? Software is so easy to manufacture. You write one copy and the rest of it is duplicated. Okay? And the rest of it is free. And so how would you create an industry where everything that you produce is free? Well, of course, he invented licensing.
Yeah.
And so I didn't realize what he had in mind was a whole bunch of lawyers. But more importantly, what he meant was there's a methodology, there's a production methodology associated with software, and look at all the software they produce today. It was a visionary idea, and now it's $1 trillion industry. Well, our industry, remember, AI is a great technology, but AI is also an industry in itself. Just as software, you got spreadsheets and word but collectively, software is an industry in itself. AI is going to be an industry. However, the AI is going to be produced by factories. And so now you just have to think, how large is the automation, agents and robots industries that will support? And every one of those agents and robots will need factories to produce the tokens for them at all times. I think that we've unquestionably discovered, invented, created a new multi-trillion-dollar industry, which is the reason why everybody's so excited about it.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so we're very happy to have you here, and through the conversation, we know the other side of Jensen, and hopefully it will help you, to know Jensen more besides his chips and his success in his business.
Well, my chips are pretty good, and don't let me. But if I could say, Young, I am delighted by our partnership. Obviously, we're manufacturing the most advanced computers the world's ever seen and ever known. And during our meeting yesterday, one of your leaders said, no one has ever manufactured systems this complicated. But very importantly, no one has ever manufactured supercomputers at this rate.
Yes.
Most of the time, you plan a supercomputer for 3 years, and you build one. We're cranking it out every hour. And so the idea that we're doing this at the scale that we're talking about is extraordinary. But that's the work that we do together for my benefit. The thing that I'm really excited is that you then use this incredible AI technology to revolutionize, transform Foxconn.
Yes.
And also to make it available for all of the Taiwan researchers and students and other startups and all the industries. I think it's a great example that you're showing. It's great that you're revolutionizing your own company with technology. You were an amazing technology company already before. Now you're an extraordinary technology company. And then everything that you do for Taiwan. So I'm very, very grateful.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jensen.
Right.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
谢谢. Bye-bye.
That's NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang chatting with Young Liu, chairman of Foxconn, during the Foxconn keynote at Computex 2025. If you'd like to listen to the entire 1 hour 40-minute keynote, we've placed a link in the Dive Deeper section of our blog at pwnilo.com. There were many other keynotes from the likes of Qualcomm, MediaTek and NXP, and while the former Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger presented a keynote at last year's Computex, Intel kept a low profile this year. Local media were reporting that Intel's new CEO, Lip-Bu Tan, was in Taipei for a company event celebrating Intel's 40th anniversary and also attended a dinner for supply chain partners. He is reported to have highlighted Taiwan's critical role in the global semiconductor sector, praising it as a key technology and innovation hub with abundant creative talent from its universities and research institutions. Lip-Bu Tan's statement certainly reflects a strong global consensus on Taiwan's leadership in semiconductors. And Computex 2025 did a great job demonstrating how Taiwan is also a formidable player in the AI technology supply chain. With over 86,000 attendees from more than 152 countries, Computex 2025 showcased a dynamic convergence of leading global tech companies and innovative startups across the AI supply chain. The event reaffirmed Taiwan's vital role as a global hub for technological exchange and impressive cross-industry collaboration. Here's to its continued success. If you'd like to find out more about the topics covered in this episode, we've linked additional details in the Dive Deeper section of our blog, as well as a video of some of the highlights. You can find it at pwnilo.com. The video is also available on our Perspectives with Nilo YouTube channel, and we'd really appreciate a like, follow or subscribe if you enjoy our content. But that's where we leave it for the moment. As always, thank you for listening, and from Taipei, Taiwan, 再见.